Well, I think the River Kennet it's just such a beautiful river. Chalk streams come from underground, and so the water that comes out of the springs is the same temperature all year round. So it's cool, clear and constant, and that creates incredible plant growth and loads of invertebrates, which creates a great place for fish and all the other animals to live. So one of the real problems on the Kennet is water quality, and one of the particular hotspots for water quality problems is downstream of the canal.
So we're at Cops Lock. This is the first main interaction with the River Kennet and the Kennet and Avon Canal. And the issue here we have is the flow rate of the River Kennet obviously merges with the canal, picks up the sediment, and this is taken through the system and carries on downstream. So here we are downstream of the merge site, and here's the perfect example of what that interaction with the canal is doing. We can see all the sediment has dropped to the bottom, smothered the gravels, and we can see the weed next to it here. The sediment all caught up on top of it. Not much living in that. Just by shuffling our feet, we can see how much of the sediment that lifts off the bottom. So now that's just going to go ahead and settle downstream, and it's just huge quantities coming through all day, every day, really. See how quickly it cleans off as that silt clears. Notice much softer gravel, looser. The fish eggs can get in there with the water getting amongst and the oxygen getting to the fish eggs. That's what fish need for their young to survive.
There are various plant species that have been introduced over time. The one causing the biggest issue on the Kennet at the moment is floating pennywort. It's a plant that was sold in garden centres. It's very nice on a pond, but it gets out into the river and it just multiplies at an incredible rate and creates a complete blanket across the surface of the water. And anything below it, no light gets to it. So you find that the actual sort of aquatic plants that are trying to grow from the bottom of the water up completely die off because they just can't get going. And removing floating pennywort is really difficult. So it can be done, but it's time consuming and expensive and has to be done in a really strategic way over a number of years. So at the moment we're looking at a 10-year eradication programme. So there's lots of things that ARK does to help make the river a better place. The most obvious one is the straightforward habitat restoration that we're able to do. And we operate at various scales. So some of our habitat restoration projects are just groups of volunteers using very green, low-tech but proven strategies to repair riverbanks, to make the river narrower, to create variations in flow, to create new habitat, just giving nature a helping hand to get it going. So that's one thing we can do. And then the other thing we do is just get people involved in their river. So we spend a lot of time going and talking to children, taking children out to the river, helping children get into the river and really explore and see all the amazing things that there are.
So, who knows what this fish is?
Bullhead.
Bullhead, well done.
That's still quite young.
So this is an American signal crayfish. It's a non-native invasive species, and unfortunately it should be in America and not here. It's colonising our rivers, and it carries a disease called crayfish plague, which has wiped out our native white-clawed crayfish from the River Kennet.
So creating that understanding and therefore hopefully a desire to notice and cherish their river is one of the things we can really do.
Well done.
So I think we have 161 chalk streams in the UK, and there's only about 10 others in the rest of the world. So we really do have the world's share of chalk streams, and we should be protecting them as enthusiastically as we protect rainforests.